Something inside NASCAR right now feels completely different, and fans are starting to realize this situation may be much bigger emotionally than anyone expected. Over the past few days, one decision from Childress Racing has completely divided the NASCAR community. Some fans understand why it had to happen. Others believe it all feels way too fast and way too painful to watch right now. Many fans are saying this entire situation just does not feel right emotionally. Others are defending RCR and saying the organization had no choice but to keep moving forward. But no matter which side people are on, one thing is obvious: NASCAR still feels emotionally shaken right now. And the latest update involving Austin Hill, Kyle Busch's former team, and the future of the iconic number 8 has only made those emotions even stronger. So today, we're going to break down RCR's latest decision, why fans are reacting so emotionally, what this means moving forward, and why this entire situation has become one of the most difficult moments NASCAR has faced in years. And trust me, the deeper you look into this story, the more emotional it becomes. So make sure you watch this video all the way until the end. RCR has officially confirmed that Austin Hill will once again drive Kyle Busch's former Cup Series ride at Nashville, after already replacing Busch during the Coca-Cola 600 weekend at Charlotte. But what is really getting fans emotional is not just the driver change itself. It is how quickly everything around the number 8 car has changed after Busch's tragic passing. The team has now completely stepped away from using the iconic number 8 and renamed the car number 33 out of respect for Kyle Busch's legacy. And while many people understand why RCR has to continue racing, there are also a lot of fans who believe the entire situation still feels painful to watch this soon. Some NASCAR fans are saying the sport is trying to move forward too quickly. Others believe RCR handled the situation as respectfully as possible considering the circumstances. But no matter which side people are on, one thing is very clear: the emotions inside the NASCAR world are still incredibly heavy right now. And honestly, seeing another driver inside what used to be Kyle Busch's car is something many fans still are not emotionally prepared for yet. When Austin Hill first replaced Kyle Busch at Charlotte, most people thought it was simply an emergency situation during one of the hardest weekends NASCAR has experienced in years. The entire garage area reportedly felt quiet, emotional, and uncomfortable throughout the Coca-Cola 600 weekend. There were tributes everywhere across the garage, moments of silence, emotional interviews, and honestly, many people watching NASCAR that weekend were still trying to process the reality that Kyle Busch was suddenly gone. That is why this newest announcement from RCR is hitting fans differently, because now it is no longer just a temporary emergency replacement for one race. Austin Hill is officially returning again for Nashville, and suddenly the reality is becoming much more permanent. And to be fair, this is where the situation becomes complicated. A lot of fans online are unfairly blaming Austin Hill for this entire situation when, realistically, he did absolutely nothing wrong. RCR needed someone to drive the car. The NASCAR season continues no matter how painful the circumstances are. Sponsors still exist. Teams still have responsibilities. Employees still depend on the organization continuing to operate. So from a business and racing standpoint, RCR really did not have many options. But emotionally, that is where people are struggling. Because for years, Kyle Busch completely transformed the identity of that number 8 car. Whether fans loved him or hated him, Busch made that number feel important again. Every weekend, people expected drama, aggression, intensity, and headlines whenever the number 8 hit the track. Kyle Busch did not just drive that car. He became the face of it. And now suddenly seeing a different number, a different driver, and a different future attached to that same team has created an emotional disconnect for many longtime NASCAR fans. Some fans online are even saying the renumbered number 33 almost feels strange to look at because everybody still mentally connects that team to Busch. And honestly, that reaction makes sense. The pain is still fresh. One of the biggest emotional details from these reports is the reason RCR reportedly decided to stop using the number 8 entirely. According to multiple stories surrounding the situation, the organization wants to preserve the number out of respect for Kyle Busch and potentially save its future connection to Brexton Busch someday. And that detail alone has hit fans hard emotionally. Because suddenly people are no longer just thinking about Kyle Busch, the driver. They are thinking about his family, his son, his legacy, and the possibility that one day Brexton Busch could continue carrying the Busch name inside NASCAR. That idea has created one of the few emotional bright spots in an otherwise heartbreaking situation. Fans have already seen Brexton around racetracks for years growing up around the sport, and many people believe preserving the number 8 for him someday would be one of the most meaningful tributes RCR could possibly make. At the same time, though, there are still fans questioning whether everything surrounding the transition happened too quickly. Some people feel NASCAR barely had enough time to mourn before racing simply moved forward again. Others understand that motorsports has always worked this way historically. Racing continues even after tragedy because teams, drivers, and organizations are forced to keep moving. And honestly, both sides are understandable. That is why this story feels so emotional across the entire NASCAR community right now. There is no perfect answer for a situation like this. Even Austin Hill's performance at Charlotte became part of the emotional conversation. Hill finished 27th while driving the renumbered number 33 Chevrolet, but most people were barely focused on results at all. The atmosphere around the race felt bigger than finishing positions. Many fans admitted they spent most of the race simply staring at the car emotionally because it reminded them of Busch every time it appeared on screen. That alone shows how massive Kyle Busch's impact truly was inside NASCAR. He was one of the most aggressive drivers of his generation, one of the most polarizing personalities in the sport, one of the few drivers who could instantly change the energy of an entire race weekend. Some fans rooted against him every single Sunday. Others defended him no matter what happened. But almost everybody respected the talent. That is why the silence around NASCAR right now feels so unusual. Kyle Busch brought emotion, controversy, and intensity into the sport constantly. Without him, many fans feel like a major piece of NASCAR's personality suddenly disappeared overnight. And now, RCR is left trying to navigate one of the hardest situations any organization could ever face publicly. The team has still not officially confirmed long-term plans for the car beyond Nashville, which means more difficult decisions are probably still coming very soon. Richard Childress is also expected to address the media again, and many fans are waiting closely to hear what the organization says next. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to NASCAR Nation News, leave a like, share this video with other NASCAR fans, and comment below with your thoughts on RCR's latest decision. Do you think NASCAR is moving forward too quickly, or do you believe RCR handled the situation the right way? Let me know in the comments, and thank you for watching.